Alright, so we'll go up to the rubber fields, hook you up and show you what it looked like. So here we go. See the ladies here in the back. You see how they scrape the side of this, then the sap come down, and then it fills. To see the black cup I'm talking about, and it fills the cup up, and then they would add some chemical to make it harden, and that's what they collected. Yeah, it's all uphills. โอ้ข้างนอกว่าผายแต่เป็นอ้วมข้างสูงนั่นสุดเดิมบัวอันสุดสอบเยอะกันนะเนี่ยสอบ
อยู่แต่น้ำกรดเลยค่ะ
อันเดียวเลยในแง่งทางนี้อย่าดุนเนี่ยIt rained last night, so it's filled with water, and then once when they cut it, they collect it and put in those bags. This is some hard-working ladies. They be low. They be low. Cho nên dụa cỏ, buổi chiều tôi xong coi, mà muốn hên tài nhiều nữa nè, hên, cái đó là hên nọ, cái tàu hên co,
hên ta chụp tàu hên nè,
đây,เป็นcông, so they collecting, and they put in those sacks. Yeah, there's four ladies. They carry that from all over. You see all those cups that got flipped over. The smells is totally a different thing. So, yeah, the rubber tree smells. I want to describe as kind of like fish sauce, but worse than fish sauce. It stinks. The stench is really strong. น้ำบัวมาไปเสียไร่นะ20 ไร่ไปเสียตุ้งยางเนาะไปเสียตุ้งยางผู้สิ้นเฟยสิ้นไง yeah so they have over 20 rye and then over 1,400 trees out of 1,400 they estimate to get about 1,200 to be able to collect from it. So yeah, it's pretty nice. I mean, again, it's hard work, but it's honest work, and you know you have income coming in. So yeah, 20 rice. So I believe it's a little bit over 3 rice in an acre. So yeah, so it's like a little bit over under 7 acres of land, and it's not flat land. Again, it's beautiful up here, but it's all up and down the valley. So they will go up on the other side, down this side. Yeah. So most of the work is done at night, by the way. So because it's so hot over here that you can't work during daytime. Even under the canopies, there's so much, it's so much work, and it's so hot that they usually come up around midnight when it's a little cooler, and then start slicing to those trees. They would slice little strips so that way the sap will come out. And they usually have a headlamp and a couple other, headlamp and a few things to help them get through the night. And then, of course, it's really slippery because of all this leaf. This leaf is actually, when you walk on it, if you don't have the proper equipment, you're pretty slippery. So you could go around, because they started on this side. You cut it from there. They do this side till it's dry. and then they start on the other side. So they could scrape it from here down to the bottom. Takes them about 4 to 5 years on one side, so and then another 4 or 5 years on the other side. So the tree life is about average is about 10, but you could go over under a little bit, but about 10. And then they had to cut it all down and then replant. It usually when you plant it, it depends on I guess your financial situations. Some people they would start breeding or scraping what's the word I'm looking for? So start cutting into the tree for the sap within 3 years if you're in need. But if you wait until not average, but most people try to wait until like the trees get about 7 years old before this could start cutting and collecting the sap. So it all depends on your financials and everything else. But if you have a little more, then they wait 7 years for the tree to get bigger, which will last longer. But if you started younger, the tree lifespan won't last as long. But yeah, see how the sap is bleeding out of this and coming down the hill. This stuff is really sticky. It gets in your skin and it's hard to wash it off, right? Nét cái bộ ạt nó rào sơn nhỏ. So guy in the rào. So when it's dry, you can peel it off, but it's hard when it first got on and it's still wet. It's hard to get it off you. Then when it get on your clothes, whatever clothes you're wearing out here, it's pretty much done. So yeah, and then walking downhill, so I got to be careful. I'm wearing Crocs right now. And Crocs seems to be holding up pretty good. I wasn't prepared, didn't bring my boots, so I didn't think I was going to come up here. It's a last minute decision to come up here and get some clip to show y'all. I got to be careful before I roll down to the bottom of that hill. So back up again. Look at the lady. By the time I make it to the bottom, there we got a full bucket. Getting ready to go back and fill up the bags. Look at that. This is my cousin's uncle's field. And let's go check out my cousin's field. So he's gonna show me how. Oh, they're rolling it down. So hey, that's pretty smart. So they collect it and just roll it down to the bottom. Yeah, why carry it down when you can roll it down, right? I always say to work smarter and not harder. You see that? If I fall, that would have been me, a giant round sack rolling down that hill. So let me go check out my cousin's side, right? This is his field. And then he'll give us a little demonstration of how it's done. So let's go check it out. Right there, touch it. Let's see. Just for experiments, I'm gonna get a drip on my finger. Yeah, it's a very sticky sap. He's been cutting this for a while. You can tell it's going all the way down the bottom now. And then he's gonna switch over and do the other side. There's a full cup ready. And then he started a fresh cup. So that one's ready to be collected. But you don't want to collect a little bit at a time. You want to make sure that it's growing and get a whole bunch. When you have a whole bunch, you can sell them more. It's all numbers game, right? The heavier it is, the more you can get out of it. So they use a stick to collect it, some kind of metal piece, and that one's wasted. Yeah, so if you don't route the flow into the cup, then all flow to the bottom is a waste. So you gotta always pay attention and know what you're doing. See how stretchy and like rubbery? That's the rubber band. So my cousin explained that's 3 nights, and this is a good night, 3 of them. But usually, if it's good, you get about this much for 3 nights of work, cutting. And then after that, you get that much. Some trees don't produce as much, so you get less. And you might get a little more, but those are about really good yielding for this. So if you do it right, this is healing up. So if the tree's healing up, then he could come back and recollect it again. So it's a nightly routine. They come in and start it from one end to the other. So basically, you take about 1/8 of skin off and then drip, and then the next night you take another 8 until the cup get filled. So they usually do it เหมือนแต่ก็มาตัดยาหมวนจุหมวนเลยแต่พักอย่างหมวน
ตัวอีหมวน
พักอีหมวน
พักกินอีหมวนพักอย่างหมวน
so they scrape 2 nights and then let it rest for the 1 night and then come back for 2 nights and rest it. So every 2 days they work for 2 days and rest 1 day and then come back and do it until the cup fill up, and the work never stops. Because once when the cup fill up, they collect the sap to go and sell them. So his is all the way to the top of the hill down, all the way to the other side, and all the way back. So when he started, he used to start on one end and work his way all the way around. So from one road to the next and work his way all the way up down the whole mountain. And when he's done from midnight, he started at midnight, he get done at 8 in the morning, and he's done. And then when it's full, he'll go up to the hill and start from the hill and collect it on his way down, work his way back down this way. My cousin's saying for the collections, if you come and help collect, then you get paid 300 baht, which is equivalent to $10.
ตัวหน้าตัวนี้
So yeah, we just started. Look how much we got already. So I'm not yao do something. So this is a good tree. See how he just barely scraped it, and then here we got this much of it, the white stuff. So here we got some of pretty good yield on this one. But yeah, and we just barely scraped it like less than 5 minutes ago. So that's pretty good. Yeah, after they help you collect until the work is done. So usually for this size, he said it takes about 4 hours if you work fast, 3 to 4 hours, and then you're done. So 300 baht to pay someone to help you collect. But he usually do all the work himself unless he get busy or tired and he asks someone to help him. If you to split half is when you go on vacation or something and you're not able to hear the work and do it, then someone else you'll ask, someone you trust or relatives or whoever that you trust, hey, you want to work on my field? And if they do, then they basically get half. So basically they do all the work themselves. They have to, bleed the tree, which is cut the sap out, then do the collections and go sell it, and whatever they sell, it'll be a 50 for the worker and 50 for the owner of the field. So 50% when I say 50, so it's half. But there's people who are willing to hire themselves out. They'll collect it for you and they'll charge you for a baht a kilo, which is a great deal if you don't want to do the hard work. Yeah, so the prices fluctuate up and down every day. Like depends on how they collect or how much you have in the market. But they said the other day they want to sell, they get a kilo for 32 baht. Those are not light, what she's carrying on her back. Carrying all that on her back. So yeah, the buyers come up and collect it themselves. You just collect the liver on the bottom here, and then they'll go bring the car over and then weigh it out and collect it, and then they pay you for it. So their job is just collect it and roll down the hills, and then there's gonna be a buyer truck to come in and then buy all this. This is what they use to scrape the rubber tree with. So it's an angular shaped knife, whereas the tip is very sharp. Yeah, so they basically just use that tip to scrape it, do a deep cut, and if you're not good, then you'll break the knife or the blade so easily because it's thin blade. So you gotta be careful. Now here, that's something I know. So now they must. He's showing those area all break if you
นี่
don't
ไม่ได้
need it.
ขัด
That's a pretty spendy knife according, in here is 300,
ตัวนี้เปลี่ยนใบได้ขายออก
Yeah.
เอง
about 300 baht.
ซื้อตัวนี้มา60 บาทเอาเปลี่ยน
The blade is about 60 baht to exchange.
มีบางตัวไม่มีหมดแล้วหมดเลย
Yeah. If you buy the cheaper one, then you don't have the head to unscrew it and put a new one on. So once those break, it's done. But if you buy one of this, you can replace the blade and use it.
คมเนี่ยต้องใส่
Yeah.
โดนหน่อยไปหมด
Got the other nut. So he put the guard, but it's very sharp. So if you don't put the guard,
นี่ยังไม่ได้ผล
you'll
นะ
get cut. He got cut many times off it and forget to put a guard on. But yeah, just want to show you a little bit. It's a long video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks again for your support and your love. You guys have a good day.